had from the very start this idea of a character who never got better, and particularly in American, not just fiction, but in life, we are convinced that everyone is able to improve themselves, to heal themselves. And I thought, what would it be like to create a character who doesn't? Well, the book is, as I'm sure all of you have noticed, deliberately ahistorical. When you take historical references out of a book, when you take name brands out of a book, what you really do is you trap the reader in a very small and specific universe. It's fundamentally Jude's story, but it begins, I hope the reader begins the book thinking it's a typical Bildungsroman about what it means to be young and living in New York, and then slowly realizes it's a study of trauma and of a life that seems untenable. I hope I've created in him a character who is terribly alone, who doesn't have the resources to try to extend his hand to ask for help. I wanted the authorial hand, as you mentioned here, to feel very present. I wanted the reader to feel that someone was creating this story and someone was trying to guide him through it. I hope it does make some male readers uncomfortable, not just for the sake of being provocative, but I think sometimes art is able to hold a mirror to us and show us what we're not saying and then make us ask why. I'm certainly a feminist, and the book, I suppose you could make the argument for it because I think it does argue that as long as men are not allowed to express certain emotions, it's not good for society at all, and it's certainly not good for women. I wanted to write a book that wasn't afraid to, not to be manipulative of its readers' emotions, but to really speak to them as much as it spoke to the mind. That I wanted to write it, and in a way it's a very old-fashioned book, you know, and this idea of a book not trying to provoke reactions is a relatively recent literary trend. I wanted a book that made the reader feel as vulnerable as the characters within it felt as they were living their lives. I think that the way it ends, if it feels effective at all, it's because I think it's true. It was always the ending I intended, and when I think about Jude's life, it was the only way, unfortunately, that it could have resolved itself in an honest manner.